Welcome to another weekly edition of NFL Reactions, my fivers, my 5 takeaways from another great week in the NFL. Without further ado, showtime! What the fuck is wrong with Aaron Rodgers? Oh my gosh. This dude had 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last year, and it was considered a down year by his standards. But if you look at the way the Packers are playing this year, yes, they're 3-1. There's no need to panic. As Aaron Rodgers would say, R-E-L-A-X, relax. Having said that, Aaron Rodgers himself has looked pretty shaky. Did you watch that game Sunday night against the Giants? They should have won by way more than 7, especially the way that they were moving the ball up and down the field in the first half. They only scored 23 points. In the second half, they start failing on almost all of their third down. In fact, if you look at Aaron Rodgers and his passer rating from like the first half to the second half this season, it's pretty stunning. And his passer rating drops down, his completion percentage drops down, their third down conversions drop down, and the Packers aren't scoring that many points. Look at that Detroit game from a few weeks ago. Yeah, they scored 34 points, but how many did they score in the second half? Only 3 points. I mean, we've expect better from Aaron Rodgers. Maybe we're spoiled and maybe we're expecting too much. What does Stephen A call him? That bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Yum, 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 yum. If that's what Stephen A is going to call Aaron Rodgers, then we have to hold him to that standard of excellence. Maybe it's a McCarthy issue. Maybe there's some kind of illness or injury that we don't know about. Maybe Olivia Munn's not hitting it right. I don't know. It could be anything. Maybe she sat on his dick while she was in the Psylocke outfit, and it's just fucked with his head mentally ever since then. Who knows? We have no idea. All I'm saying is the Packers, as long as they keep winning, we're not going to focus on this that much. The more Aaron Rodgers struggle, and if losses start to pile up, we could come back and look at this as like a really big issue. For now, keep winning. Just try to make it a little bit easier on yourselves. Speaking of easy, holy shit, the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. I'm a huge Patriot fan, and I will tell you definitively this right now. We fear no one except the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would love for my Patriots to win another Super Bowl, but the fact is the Pittsburgh Steelers scare the ever-living shit out of me. Look at what they can do offensively. They're just as talented as we are, maybe even more. This past weekend, Ben Roethlisberger shredded what we thought was a good Jets defense, although in fairness, maybe the Jets defense isn't as good as we once thought it was. But still, for like 380, 4 touchdowns. Sammy Coates was getting long passes. What do you have? 5 catches for $134. You have Antonio Brown. You have Le'Veon Bell. With Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown, there's not 4 horsemen on this team, but they pretty much form the 3 horsemen of death. Think of them as a football version of Cerberus. They're pretty much Cerberus with black and yellow stripes. All I know is the Pittsburgh Steelers, they can put up a lot of points, and their defense is a little bit better than advertised. One of the most dangerous teams in the NFL right now. When I watched the Pittsburgh Steelers play, I peed just a little bit. Alright, now it's time for our daily dose of Brock Osweiler, aka Brock Lossweiler. This is starting to look like $72 million spent the wrong way. At this point, I would have taken some of that $72 million and I would have just offered it to JJ Watt, bad back and all, and said, hey, think you could throw a few passes per game for us? We'll make you play less defensive snaps. What it is about this dude, but he's starting to look like he's just not the guy in Houston. He's already thrown 7 interceptions. It's only been 5 games. Yes, the Texans are 3-2. They have a winning record and they're leading the AFC South. Look at his numbers from this past game. 19 of 42 or some shit like that, 100 and something yards. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe he was the product of Denver and maybe they were expecting him to be the next Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, and he's not even Wayne Brady at this point. Houston, you don't have a problem. You have a big fucking problem. And his name is Brock Lossweiler. And you might need to get on that before it gets worse. Falcons hang almost 50 on the Carolina Panthers last week. I go, pfft. That's more about the Panthers than the Falcons. I mean, yeah, the Falcons are good, but come on. This week, they play the Denver Broncos, and holy shit. They beat the Broncos, and they did it in a different way. They didn't hang 30 on them. They didn't go all out, and their defense actually showed up to play. That kid Vic Beasley, he shows up in this game, and he has like 3 sacks. They finally have a pass rush. I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck fuck is going on? This is the Falcons. I thought Denver's defense would create problems for them, and I thought the Falcons defensively aren't really that special. You have the ghost of Dwight Freeney, the corpse of Dwight Freeney out there still spinning around and causing pressure. It's like I said a few, segments ago or whatever. The Falcons, as long as they don't make mistakes, are going to score points. But this game showed me is that they can score points and also be a balanced team. They have a two-headed monster at running back with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. They create so many matchup problems there. You still got Julio Jones. I still can't get over the fact that Julio Jones maddened the Carolina Panthers last week. They have Mohamed Sanu. I mean, they've got a good offensive line. They've got a lot of weapons everywhere. Pretty soon, they're going to be doing the A-Town stomp on everybody if this keeps up. Of course, I saved the best for last. Why? Because I'm an arrogant piece of shit Patriot fan. What do you expect? Brady, the people were talking about all week, oh man, he might be rusty. He might not get it done. Yeah. Well, you can take your rust and you can shove it up your twat. Yes, I am well aware that it was the Browns. Nothing to toot our horns about. Having said that, the Browns have played 4 games before the Patriots this season, and nobody else threw for 400 yards on them, and nobody else blew them out like that, not to my knowledge. What I loved about Brady's performance is that he used everybody. He used all the weapons at his disposal. I mean, Bennett was catching touchdowns. Gronk looked like Gronk again. Any idiot that tried to argue that Brady is just a product of the system, no. The system is Tom Brady. You want proof? Chris Hogan had never had a 100-yard game before. Now he does. Why? Because of Brady. Gronk! Oh, he's struggling and he's not himself. He only has 1 catch in 4 games. Guess what he had Sunday? 5 catches, 109 yards. Oh, all of a sudden Gronk is back. Why? Because Brady's back. Everybody played well. Everybody played better. I'm just saying, Brady makes everybody better. Brandon LaFell comes here. He has a career year. He goes off to Cincy and he's doing whatever. No one really cares. All I'm saying is, as a Patriot fan and an arrogant Patriot fan at that, we did our job. We took care of business. Schedule gets tougher now. We'll see what we do before. But this past Sunday, Brady throwing for 406. Me likey. Those are my takeaways from an action-packed Week 5 in the NFL. Can't wait for Week 6. Starts tomorrow. I'm also going to do a video soon where I talk about the awards and I predict which players are going to win the awards or which players should have the awards at the halfway point of the season. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest. Turn the music up in the headphones. Tim, you can go and brush your shoulders off, nigga. I got you.